mentioned this in previous years. Shavuot used to say over that it is a halacha not to let blood on Erev Shavuos, right? Not to make his dam. There used to be a refuah they used to do. They would let the blood.
Oh, with the leeches.
Yeah, they didn't use leeches. They actually let the blood into a thing. It was a very healthy thing that they did in the times of the Gemara. But in any case, it says you don't do it on Erev Shavuos. Why? Because the Gemara in Shabbos says that Erev Shavuos there's a shade out there. His name is Tavuach. There's a shade. His name is Tavuach. Tavuach means to shecht. Why? Because if the Klai Yisrael wouldn't have been Makabel the Torah by Shavuos, the whole world was waiting for Klai Yisrael to be Makabel the Torah, and had they not been Makabel the Torah, he would have shechted them. It's in Washington. So he would have that would have been the end. So therefore, the Rabbanim are guys with Erev. This halach is all Erev Yom Tov, but the reason is because Erev Shavuos. But he says like this. The Machzor Shekel says, we know, that happened many years back by Matan Torah, before Matan Torah, that the shade was out there, Shmoi Tavuach, and is waiting to see what Klai Yisrael will do, and they accepted the Torah. But had they not accepted the Torah, then there would have been problems. So why do I have to do it me now in Tavshin Ayin Hey? So he says that the Machzor Shekel says that we know, like every year, we go through the Galgal Hashana, it's Ma'or, the same thing every year again. In other words, now again is a time for Kabbalah Torah. So a person has to be Makabel Torah again. The person's so if you let blood, it's a Shasa Sakana. Before Kabbalah Torah is a Shasa Sakana because there's still something out there that could be dangerous. And therefore, we stay away. We're Makabel Torah when Shavuos comes, but maybe our Kabbalah is not 100%, maybe we're missing. We go through the same time period of the year. It's not just we're remembering Kabbalah Torah, it's a time to be Makabel Torah again. It's that time of the year. And therefore...
is this like Pesach that we're supposed to be as if we were released at the same time?
I'm saying the whole year is like that. The whole year, when you go through that time of the year, it's really those things that happen are happening again. So it's a time of Kabbalah Torah. So I saw that good morning. So I saw that that's one of the reasons why. When I see this, I saw that's one of the reasons why we eat milchiks. Many reasons why we eat milchiks on Shavuos, right? One of the reasons is brought down in Chazal that. It's brought down in the Feiskin that because when the Malachim came to Avraham Avinu, right? So he gave them a chema and he gave them the tongue teeth. So they had milchus and flesh together, right? So when the Moshe Rabbeinu went up to get the Torah, so the Malachim said, "Why are we giving you the Torah? Why are you giving a boss of a dumb the Torah? The Torah is supposed to be Shemayim. What are you giving them? So one of the questions Moshe asked him that 1 second, you guys, when you came down, you ate basar b'chalav. Doesn't say in the Torah you can't eat basar b'chalav. So they were quiet. They know what the answer. So therefore we keep the halachas of basar b'chalav. We keep it. We milchiks and then we wait and then we do halachas and we have fleishiks afterwards. So we have to wait. You say, no, whatever the halachas is, one suda, but we keep the halachas of basar b'chalav. We b'chalav first and basar. So it says that that's the pshat. The pshat is that we have to, being that's the zman of Kabbalah Torah again, we're coming to Kabbalah Torah again, so we have to show that we're right. We're better than Malachim. We have to do everything that happened back then. We're doing it again. We're very careful. Erev Yom Tov not let any blood, so it shouldn't be a sakana because we won't get Kabbalah Torah, just in case. And we want to keep the Torah properly. So we keep basar b'chalav on the Shavuos to sort of replay the incident that happened back then. That's because it's not just we're remembering; it's really happening again. It's the,
is there some type of nothing because of them on Friday? Erev Shabbos?
There is such a thing twice a week. Tuesday nights, maybe on Friday, not to do anyways. Yeah. What's the reason for that? I think it's because of the Yom. Yeah, that's not because of the Shabbos. So anyway, so that's halachas. It's not so negay today. Not so many people let blood, but it is negay if a person wants to have an operation or something. Have a procedure.
Or a blood test, eh?
A blood test is not so that they take enough blood to make anything. But anything which is a more serious procedure, obviously, if you have no choice, you have to do it. Then you have to. Health is important, but if it's a choice between that day and a different day, so there is this svara that it was an halacha. You don't let blood on erev Shavuos. Now, Shavuos comes out on the 50th day of the Yomer. We don't count the 50th day, we count 49 days. Shavuos comes out on the 50th day. Right? Machos HaShabbos, Tispu. So it's interesting. The Torah says, where do we get Shavuos from? The Torah says, Machos HaShabbos, from the day after Shabbos, you count 50 days. And the 50th day is Shavuos. So the Tzedukim used to count from Sunday, Machos HaShabbos. It says in the Torah from the day after Shabbos. So very nice. But we know Al Pi Kabbalah, Kabbalah Torah Shabbat Peh, that 50th day is referring to Machos HaShabbos. Pesach is called Shabbos. Pesach is called Shabbos. So Pesach is called Shabbos. So the 50th day from the day after Shabbos, we start counting the Omer, the second day Pesach. That's the day after the first day of Pesach, which is Midaraisa. So we start counting the 50 days. That's the Torah Shabbat Peh. So interesting. I saw here with Tzvi Pesach. It says we find Shavuos, the whole Yom Tov of Shavuos, is a lot of it is Lohitzim Libon Shal Tzedukim. First of all, you see we lay in the Megillas Rus. What's Megillas Rus all about? Megillas Rus is all about David HaMelech. It tells you the Malchus of David. David came from Moyavi and Moyavis, right? Now, if you read the Torah says Moyavi can't marry in. So here you have in Torah Shabbat, it says very clearly that Moyavi can't marry in, and if that's the case, our Mashiach comes from a Moyavi. Pretty hot water here. David HaMelech comes from a Moyavi, right? And it was a big issue back then. The President of Shmuel, it was a big issue until they passed in Moyavi below Moyavis. But this was something which was a Kabbalah of Torah Shabbat Peh, to darshan Moyavi below Moyavis. So Fakir is just the opposite. It just so happens to be that, lucky us, this is Drashim Mayavis, and now David HaMelech could be the Melech, and Mashiach Hasim. It's just the opposite. David HaMelech, but Dafka came from a Drasha of Torah. People think that you have Torah Shabbat, and you can figure it out yourself and finish. It's not like that. Mashiach had to come Dafka from a Torah Shabbat Peh. So Mashiach Dafka comes from Mayavis. That's the way it was set up. That it should be such a story where it comes from Rus, it's a Maivia, and that's where it comes from. So that's why we read Megillas Rus, to show this thing.
I'm not clear what we're showing. What is it?
We're showing that it's Kabbalah Satorah. The Shavuos is there of Kabbalah Satorah. We're showing that part of Kabbalah Satorah is the Kabbalah of Torah Shabbat Peh. The explanation that the Chazal gave along with it. And this is the main yesod of our Yiddishkeit. You knock out the Drashim Mayavi v'loy Mayavis, you knock out the whole Mashiach. You knocked it all out. So the whole Torah Shabbat comes with Torah Shabbat Peh. That's why Shavuos, the whole Shavuos is represented by that Machos HaShabbos. The Torah had to write it in such an obscure way, Machos HaShabbos. Everything else says quite clearly what it is, and what day of the month it is, and what comes out Shavuos. Here it says, Machos HaShabbos count 50 days, and what Shabbos? From Shabbos, the Stukim said it meant from Sunday. But we know it means from the day after Pesach, Torah Shabbat Peh. And to add on to this, when the Shavuos come out, when is Shavuos? So this is a big problem in the Shulchan Aruch, that Shavuos really is 50 days after the second day of Pesach. So, but that's not really when Shavuos happened. We say Zman, Matan, Torah, Seinu, we daven. That's not when the Torah was given. The Torah was given the 51st day, because Moshe Rabbeinu added on a day. Moshe Rabbeinu added on a day to the Matan Torah, right? Hashem said, "Be ready on the third day," and Moshe Rabbeinu darshan. So the whole Torah was given. The whole Torah was given not on the day that it sort of said in the Torah. The Baruch Hashem said it should be given. It was given on the day that Moshe said, "No, you made a drasha." And it was given a day later. So that's what happened, right? So the whole Torah was based on the Torah Shabbal Peh that was given. So we see Shavuos is not just Torah Shabbat as the written, the oral law is part and parcel of it. So Shavuos comes out, basically it's a big kasha, we're going to have a mess. Shavuos comes out every year, comes out on Vav Sivan, right, which is 50 days after, right? The Klal Yisrael went out of, right, Klal Yisrael, it depends on the different madrashim, but the way Pashtus we go, right, Shabbos HaGadol was on Shabbos, right, 4 days later, they went out of Mitzrayim on Wednesday, Thursday. Sorry, they went out on Shabbos. They went out of Mitzrayim on Thursday, and Friday was the first day of the counting. So 50 days later comes out on a Friday, right? So and Kul Yom HaMoed Shabbos Nitna Torah. We all, everybody knows that the Torah was given on Shabbos, right? Depends on all Cheshbonos, Rabbi Yossi and Rabbanim. A lot of Cheshbonos to make here, but on a simple way, just to keep things straightforward. If we go that the Klal Yisrael went out of Mitzrayim on Thursday, and the first day of the counting was Friday. Count 50 days ends up on a Friday, right? 50 days ends up on a Friday. And then the Shabbos was given on the Torah was given on Shabbos a day later. And we have the Zman Matan Torah Seinu on 50 days on the 50th day, which would be Friday. This year it comes out on Sunday, but. It's the second day Pesach, so you always count from the second day Pesach. So 50 days, and it comes out 50 days later. This is a big kasha to Magen Avraham Misk. How is it possible that we say Zman Matan Torah Seinu? It's on the wrong day. So Magen Avraham says we can't remez liyom tov sheni. This is a remez for the second day of Yom Tov in Chutz La'aretz. So the other what happened says the Rabbis, why do we do it Eretz Yisrael? They keep Shavuos on the wrong day, and we're keeping the second day. But that's what the Magen Avraham says. So this is a kasha. L'maisa.
For Hirsch has a whole lot.
Yeah.
What we do every year is the day before Shavuos is the bit of the preparation.
That's the Marsha. Marsha says that. Yeah. Marsha says the Achana l'Kavos l'Torah. The Achana is the main thing. Right. We were ready on the 50th day. And the Torah was given on the 51st, but we were ready, so that's what we count as the Kavos l'Torah. Right. Right. That's a good shot.
That, or you can say that is the Kabbalah Torah, and that is what the right to interpret Torah.
They were able to push it off a day. The fact that Moshe Rabbeinu was able to push it off a day.
Yeah, but that happened on the day before.
Yeah, it really happened a few days before, though.
So on the 50th day, Moshe received the right to be able to push it to the 50th, and therefore Moshe received it on the 50th. We got it on the 51st. Right.
We got it first, yeah. Well, Moshe didn't receive it on the 50th.
Okay, you got it earlier. But the exercise in it, if you will, became apparent with it.
Yeah, it was clear that on the 50th day, because that's when it was pushed off. That's when we realized it was pushed off. That was when it was clear, yeah? Okay, that's Tvutzim, but the kasha is there. It's not 50th day. So, L'maisa, when does Shavuos Taka come out? So, there's Zman HaChazal, when they were Mekadosh Al Pi Aliyah, so Shavuos came out either on Hey Vav or Zayin, depending if there were two chasers or two mali. Today we have one mali, one chaser, Mishnah Nir. So it comes out, Shavuos always comes out on Vav. Shavuos comes out on Vav, but the Zman HaChazal, it depended. Sometimes Shavuos Taka came out on Zayin, which was Zman Matan Torah. Sometimes it did come out on Zayin. But today, it always comes out on Vav, depending on the Kiddush HaChodesh, right? If you have 2 chasses, it's going to come out on hay. If you have 2 moles, it'll come out on zayin. We have 1 chas and 1 mole, so it always comes 50 days. Always comes out on.
So it's the other way around.
Right.
If you have 2 chasses, it comes out.
I'm sorry. If it's 2 chasses, it comes out on zayin. If it's 2 moles, it comes out on hay. But today we have 1 mole, 1 chas. Our calendar is pretty set. So Shavuos always comes out on. So the Shavuos is not necessarily tied to the day of the month. Shavuos is tied to 50 days from. That's what it says. Tisnu Chamishim Yom. The Yom Tov of Shavuos is 50 days from the Yom. That's clear. It's not tied to the day of the month. It's the only Yom Tov that's like that. All other Yom Tov is tied to the day of the month.
So that means that we may actually not be Yom Tov. I know by Chazal. So that means that it could be this year. Theoretically, it should have been hay.
It should have been.
I mean, if we did it and we had a...
No, we make a Kiddush HaChodesh based on the calendar.
Based on the calendar that was predicted by Hillel.
Yeah, he made a Kiddush HaChodesh for all the years. We were Makadosh HaChadoshim. Now, it's important to understand that. We'll see in a moment. There was someone that came out and he said something which Mamish was Marafsa Nigri. He came out.
That was great. He was mamish what?
He said something which was a little outstanding in thought.
Positively or negatively?
So he wanted to claim that you have a guy that let's say went over the international date line, okay, and so it depends which way he went over it. You could either be a day early or a day later. But he's a day off. Okay, the other guy goes over the international date line, so he loses a day or gains a day, but either way, he's counting the Omer. So you have 2 shilas, so he's counting the Omer, so you count the day. Today's the 27th day of the Yom, but then he jumped over the date line. And now everybody else is counting 27, but he's already up to 28. Or the other way around, everybody's counting
27, he's counting 26.
27, he's counting 26. So he could be 1 day off. So what happens? What day does he keep on counting of the Omer? That's one question. And then this Chacham Echad made the assumption that he counts his own counting. He doesn't go with everybody else. So now he said, okay, so now what happens to Shavuos? Okay, so everybody counted 49th day, and they're ready Makabel Chag Shavuos. He's still not on number 48. He's lagging behind. He's on 48. So he said, okay. So he makes Shavuos on it, which says you count 50 days, and you make Svartim Lochem, and he makes his own Shavuos on the day later. So everybody has Shavuos on Vav Sivan. He's counting on Zayin Sivan, and he keeps second day Shavuos. He keeps making the Yom, so he keeps the second day Shavuos on Ches. So the Gemara says, "His Fatam, we make a Svil L'chol Echad Ve'echad." So, and besides from making such a shtickle Torah, and once you do that, you can run into problems. So he said, "Avad man matan Torah saying he was going to say with everybody else." Even though really we just got finished saying it wasn't really man matan Torah, it's Torah saying it. But he said, "Avad man matan Torah saying to say with everybody else," but Shavuos will keep the other day. And he tried to blame this on the Shulchan Aruch Harav, which there's no remezels at, but. The Gemara says that it's different than Yovel and Shemitahs where you count what Bezin counts, but here Svartim L'chem, each person has to count. So each person has to count. So what does it mean each person has to count? So I'll say 2 things. Either it means Lafuke, don't say Bezin counts, but it means it's a mitzvah Kol Yachid V'Yachid, or it means that you can't be moitzi the next fellow. The Mishnah Berurah is down at the beginning that if I count a svira, I can't be moitzi you. I can moitzi with the bracha, but I can't be moitzi with the counting of the svira. Each person has to count himself. But they want to take it further. That means each person has his own svira saimer. What are you going to do? A guy counts bar mitzvah in the middle of the svira, or a guy. So what is he doesn't keep Shavuos till what a person. And B'chlal today svira saimer could be his midrabanan. Anyways, we don't even have a chli svira. So it means if it would have been a svira, that's what he would have counted. The whole thing got a little bit out of control, but Mike says, "Call a poiskim." Call a poiskim. Boy, Avada, you don't say that. Avada goes by the day that
everyone else counts.
Everyone else counts.
Where
Why do you go when everyone else counts? To
Where you
Yom
are.
Tov. What?
Where you were.
Where you are, yeah. The fourth day of Yom Tov is. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? This fellow is a day earlier, so is a day later. So he's going to. There's man of Beis Hamikdash Kayim. Okay, so he's going to go over the date line. So now it comes to the Beis Hamikdash. The Makav the Shtei. The time is, it says in Pasuk Svatim Lechem, and then after the Chamishim it says the craft of Misha, you bring a carbon, you bring the Shtei Lechem. So the whole Klaisel brought the Shtei Lechem on Shavuos. He brings it the next day.
You can. It's a form of silver. It's not a form of
It doesn't
wine.
make any sense. The whole thing is, but if you're touching it into the Psukim, that's what should come out. So it doesn't.
So what happens?
Where is the date line?
So Halacha L'Maaseh is a shaila what he should count for Yisrael. Avadi he should count the day that where he is, where everybody else.
So they say it has to be tmimis, that you have to make, I'll have all these cheshbonis that you can't.
So there's a shaila you have to make a bracha. You don't make a bracha. You count 2 days. You count for that day. 2 days the day you miss plus the next day. There's a shaila on Paiskim how to do it. But Mikra Din Avadi you go wherever you are. That's the.
Where is considered the date line?
It's a different shit. Okay. But okay, so this halach. But anyways, but it is interessant that Shavuos is totally in the counting, not politic accounting, but we count 50 days. That's when Shavuos is. It doesn't start totally in the day of the month, but still count. But it's still totally in. We could still say Mekadesh Yisrael v'Hazmanim, because Pesach is totally in the Rishonim. Pesach is totally in the Kiddush HaChayim. We say Mekadesh Shabbos. Shabbos happens automatically.
Right.
But Yom Tov we have to be Mekadesh, right? That's why we say Mekadesh Yisrael v'Hazmanim, because we make the month. Makadosh month, and if we make the month a day earlier, so then the Yom Tovim come a day early. We make it a day later. Yom Tovim come a day later.
So the Chayr it is a man Matan Torah saying. I mean, if the whole thing is totally on this counting 50 days, from the second day Pesach, I mean, so then we're okay. You know, I don't have to stand around thinking I'm celebrating Shavuos, but it's not really Shavuos. Shavuos is really the next day. It was the first day. I mean,
No, the Torah says
it's
the 50th day.
No, you're celebrating Shavuos. The question is it Zman Matan Torah saying?
Was that the day the Torah was given?
Well, that's what Shavuos is about Matan Torah saying.
No.
Oh, because it's Shavuot 7 weeks. Okay, I understand. But
Shavuos is the anniversary of the day when the Shtei Lechem was brought.
Right.
Yeah.
No, but we do say in Tefillah, Zman Matan Torah saying it. You can't ignore that.
Right.
so historically,
We stay a whole night up. We stay a whole night up learning.
So wait a second. So historically, the Torah was given on the 51st day.
Yeah.
Historically, Torah was given 50.
See, this is why they say ignorance is bliss. You know.
Yeah, but you can argue also that there's a true 50 days because the whole problem how the count started, what days you count.
The Torah says 50 days is Shavuos. It says there's a Shavuos, and then that's how we know. So then they push it off a day, but today we don't push it off. It was Nidcherem. Today's not Nidcherem.
So it's really two separate holidays. One is the holiday of Shavuos, which is the counting of the weeks in 50 days, and then there's another holiday of the giving of the Torah. And we have to move them together. They're two actually separate concepts.
Yeah.
Shavuos is not. I mean, it's
The
not.
Shaila is Bisman Matan Torah. Did they keep Shavuos? Because they didn't keep it before the Torah was given, and the Torah was given on the 51st day.
So we really should stay up to
Were they
second.
Makav the They didn't have a Mishkan yet either, maybe.
Right. No.
So why don't we stay
Did
up?
they keep the Yom Tov of Shavuos? They had to wait till the next year.
Wait a second. Shouldn't we stay up then the night of the
next
first?
night.
That would make
Sale?
more sense.
Go ahead.
Right?
Yeah, you can stay both nights.
No.
Both
It's the
nights.
second. That would
With our blessing.
But you know what's the credit?
Okay.
But we don't have a Chag. Isn't it amazing that the Chag is not called? It's called Shavuos and it's not called Matan Torah or something. I mean, you think out of all the Chagim that we
It's
have,
not true.
this should be the most important.
It's not true. All the Yom Tovim,
Yeah.
the Rebbeinu Shalom calls Yom Tovim for what Klal Yisrael does, and Klal Yisrael calls Yom Tovim what Rebbeinu Shalom does. So let's say Pesach. We say Zman Cheruseinu, right?
Okay, so how does this apply for Shavuos?
Shavuos, the Rebbeinu
Rashi calls
Shalom.
it Shavuos.
The Rebbeinu Shalom says Chag HaShavuos because we count weeks. So what do? We sit and count every week, anticipate
Yeah,
Shavuos.
and what do we call
Chag
it?
HaShavuos. We call Zman Matan Torah Seinu because Rebbeinu Shalom gave us the Torah.
Right, we all say, hey, hurry up, Zman Matan Torah Seinu is coming. When's the last time you heard that? I mean, we call it Shavuos, so we don't call it, it's not...
Davening, we say Zman Matan Torah. Okay, now, listen, so that's the That's the day of Shavuos.
Well, Pesach we also say Zman.
Is it not the case
Zman.
that the word Zman, the word Zman is
We say Zman Chayil Hussein.
So you can say it's not the exact day, but it's the Zman.
No, Torah calls it Chag
We say the same Lashon by all the.
And we call it Pesach.
We call it Monday Rotation.
They have,
Say
But the word
Yom.
Zman is
We say Yom.
But in Yalav Yova we call it Chag HaMatzos, no?
Say Yom Chag Shavuos. Says
We don't call it
we don't
Pesach.
call it Yom. So it's really two separate.
Okay, weiter.
What are you causing trouble for?
Because, no, I'm sorry, Scheiner dummy, I'm just quietly understanding what you're saying.
I'm just bringing up the sugya here. The kids.
Okay, Zale's having a nervous breakdown. We'll take
The
it.
kids. Shavuos is a special time. It's time to get to you. And we have different minhagim on Shavuos. So a couple of minhagim will go through. One of them is some people stay up a whole night. This minhag should have brought Shulchan Aruch here, but this minhag is brought down. Minhag Kadmoinim to stay up a entire night for Shavuos to learn, because it's Man Matan Torah saying it's the time we got to Torah, so we want to accept it properly. It's brought down from the Arizal that if someone stays up a whole night and he's not mevatel, he doesn't say a sikha b'tela the whole night, he's muftach that he'll have a very peaceful year. He'll live through the year. So okay, not so easy. It's easier.
So much for that.
But akoponim, it's a gewaltige minhag that people do. It's not a chiyuv. There's no chiyuv to stay up all night. It's just a minhag that people do. And this whole story with I said the other weeks with it's brought down in the Shlah from the Shlomo Alkovitz with the Beis Yosef and this whole Chabur that they stayed up at night and they had a gilui from the Mishnah that came down. There's a whole ma'aseh that happened, and that from that was nispad. People Yechidim used to do it, but that became nispashet that the Hamoinam would do it. Now because I'll say this with tongue in cheek, but the Chak Yaakov says that there's a whole tikkun leil Shavuos that people say. It's tikkun leil Shavuos. So the question is, should you learn or should you say the tikkun leil Shavuos? That's the shayla. What should you do? Should I say the tikkun, or should you learn? So the Chak Yaakov says the tikkun was made for people that aren't learning. they shouldn't stay up. What should they do all night? So they say the tikkun. But someone who's learning avada, that's better. Obviously, this is the Litvish viewpoint. And then the Hasidim, they said the tikkun. But the truth is, if you look in the Shlavia, they used to say the tikkun. They said the tikkun. They said it, but they said different psukim and different mishnayos and things. But unfortunately, we're not so well versed. And when we learn the Mishnah, it takes us time to go through a Mishnah. You can see the amount that they went through in one night of Shavuos. It will take us a few months to go through. But they just read and learned them quickly. But they were able to be typhus. They were able to understand what they were saying and to have that learned. By us, however, we could learn one night. There's a whole shiloh. When is daven Marav Shavuos night, which I missed. One of the reasons we say we daven Marav late Shavuos night, we don't make it early Shavuos, is because Tamima is Tiyena. You want to have the complete. Since Shavuos is after on the 50th day, you want to have. It should be Tamimos, it says, complete. So if you make Shavuos early, so you're cutting off the end of the 49th day, so it's not complete. It's not a complete count. This is one of the reasons. Shalos Marav, Shalos Kiddush. Exactly at what point do we consider it that you're breaking the Tamimos? So that's became the minhag that we daven Marav Bismanoi because we don't want to shorten the Tamimos. So it's brought out in Hagim in Germany from the Yosef Ayim, some others, and it's brought down that they used to start. They didn't wait till the Tzeis. They davened by Shkia. Why? Because it's such a short night. It's such a short night. You barely could get 4 hours of learning in. It's summer nights. So they daven Marav early, so they could be able to learn proper until you get home and you eat and you come back and then the whole night's gone. There's nothing left. Then davening is early because Lois is early. So in order to make sure there was enough time to learn, they forgot about the Din Tamimus and they started on time. That was a minhag in some places. But very useful. Brings down Like we see Rabbana Kashishar Beretz Ashkenaz that they were worried about the Tamimus because Befrat, those that stayed up to learn the whole night, he says there's so much to learn and the night is so short. So if they're going to make Kiddush and the Suda after Tzeis, forget about it. You know. But L'maisa, the minute we came to wait at least for sure for Kiddush, and in most places they wait for Marav also, that it should be Bismanoi on the first night, in order that should be, you should have the Indian of Tamimus. Now, part of staying up at night, there was an interesting minhag which we do a little different. There's an interesting minhag. We do it by the upsharing. People make an upsharing. They take their sons to yeshiva, you know, and they make a whole thing. They wrap them in a. This is how the minhag was. He wrapped them in a talus. They shouldn't see anything in the street. He took them to the cheder, to the yeshiva by his upsharing, and then he saw the olive bays with the honey. Put the honey on the olive bays. It was the whole thing. He mechanech a child when he's 3 years old. That was the you know, before the upsharing. So this minhag, actually, there was a minhag kadmonim that's brought down in the Poskim. There was a minhag kadmonim that they actually did this thing, the haircut, but they give, when the child became 3 years old, they brought him Shavuot night before the davening by a lois. They'd wake him up early in the morning and wrap him in the talus and bring him, and they read with him Torah Tzivilanu, and they gave him a little honey cake to open it. There's a time of Kabbalah Sator. So actually, in many places, they had this, in Ashkenaz, and they had this minhag to do it on Shavuot. Generally, we don't do this anymore. I haven't seen it done anywhere here on Shavuot. We usually do it by the third, when the kid becomes 3. But it was a minhag Shavuot night. Shavuot night is a time to be Paseach Leiv. You want to open your hearts to learning. So that's the thing. Now, part of the staying up at night, is davening in the morning, right? People stay up all night and they fall asleep during davening. So before we get to halachas of Shachar and all that, but part of staying up is davening. It's brought down that's the end. That's the punchline. You have to get to the finish line. The finish line is Musaf. You know, it all comes to Musaf. So a person should be careful to be awake. You know, he stayed up a whole night and learned to stay up, and then during davening he fell asleep. If he needs to, he should put his head down for 20 minutes and sleep, and then daven to be refreshed. The person in the davening is saying of Shavuot night. You want to be up for the davening. Kriyas HaTorah, it says Kriyas HaTorah, for people who stand, it's a minute to stand by Kriyas HaTorah, by Aseres HaDibros, because like we said in the beginning of the share, you're replaying the whole Shavuot. So it's brought down that it's Kriyas HaTorah, you're replaying it. B'shas you hear the Aseres HaDibros, it's replaying the real Mesinas HaTorah. Oh.
Part of the minhag staying up with the davening.
The Ben Ish Chai says this. Gemar shel tikkun sfiras ha'omer v'limud la'Shavuos is tefillas musaf. Part of the tikkun. You say the whole tikkun and then you don't get the tikkun. You miss the end. You have to be careful. Hakol hoilach achar achisalim goes after the yam, like you say, Shavuot Rabbi. Everything goes after the yam.
If you goes up there, Shavuos morning, it's like a Moshe's game. Everybody's asleep in their talais.
Now, there's so when you get up in the morning, so after Alois, person really has to make Birchas HaTorah. Person has to wash his hands. He has to wash his hands. Legelwasser. Has to wash his hands. And since there's a suffix, if he's mechuyev into Yadayim, if he stayed up all night, if he slept a little bit, it's no suffix. But if he stayed up, there's a suffix if you make a bracha on Tilas Yadayim. But if a person uses the facilities, so then you wash your hands, the Rosh holding, you wash your hands for tefillah. If your hands are dirty, you use the facilities, kanech a little bit, so then one can make a bracha on Tilas Yadayim, and you can make Asher Yotzer also. So you can make Asher Yotzer on Tilas Yadayim. So you could do that if one uses the washroom, if the Alois, then he washes his hands. And but the shaila is, you still have the shaila on Birchas HaTorah, Birchas HaTorah is a suffix. What's a suffix? It's a suffix if really you make a bracha, so you make one bracha. It's an ongoing mitzvah. You should only have to make a bracha once in your lifetime. You make a bracha and you do a straight mitzvah straight through. So there's a shaila. Shaila is, do you have to make a new... Every day we make a Birchas HaTorah. So the question is why? Do we make a Birchas HaTorah every day because you slept in between? So that's a hefsek, and then you make a new bracha in the morning. Or it's not as sleeping because not necessarily a hefsek. Because, let's say a guy sleeps in the day, he doesn't make a Birchas HaTorah when he wakes up. Because, like Tosfos says, he's still on his mind, the learning. Learning's on his mind. You know? The person doesn't have a mafsek from learning. I used to have a Rabbi, this Rabbi, Yid. So he didn't sleep at night, basically. I'm not sure if he slept Friday night, I think he slept. Other nights he didn't sleep. So he would have this big cup of coffee, and he would drink it basically straight. But he would learn, he didn't sleep at bed. He would fall asleep in the middle of learning. He would just start reading, I remember this, he started reading a Rashba, started talking, and out. He would wake up 10 minutes later and just take off from the word that he left off on, as if there was no stopping in between. He would just keep on going like nothing happened in between. It's very hard to learn with him. But
that was a bathroom break.
By him, there was no hefsek. You know, he just kept on going like it's a big going. But he didn't sleep at night. I had another Rabbi also. He would come in Sunday morning, he was still dressed in the Shabbos clothing, you could tell. Shabbos shoes and everything, you know, he didn't go to sleep the night before, sometimes, not everyone, sometimes. There were people in those days that, you know, were the real deal. So anyways, that could be, it's not a hefsek, just because he went to sleep was not a hefsek. So it's a machlokes. Is it because every day needs a new bracha? Or is it because of the hefsek of sleeping? So now if you stayed up all night, so you don't have the hefsek of sleeping, but you do have every day is new bracha. So it's a suffix if you make Birchas HaTorah. So that's what. So it's a shayla what to do. L'maisa, Rav Poskim seem to hold that every day needs a new bracha. So therefore, as far as on that they make a bracha. And even Ashkenazim, usually we try to find someone that slept even a little bit. Even if he slept for a few minutes, it's enough for us. They slept a little bit, and we'll make it was very shallow how much you have to sleep, a half hour, 3 minutes, not sure exactly how much, but you know, the person slept a little bit, we'll make it that he makes the bracha, and then he's moitzi everybody else. So, just to get out of the suffix, but many places, even if you can't find anyone that's slept at night, you could pick one guy to make the bracha instead of everybody making the bracha, because it's a suffix, but one guy can make the bracha, be samach on the shittas, and it can be moitzi everybody else. So that's the bracha of Birchas HaTorah. Other places say, no, let's wait to have a rabbi and have in mind to have a rabbi, but...
but there's also what I think a Rabbi Kiva or sometime one or two. So they
yeah.
sleep during the day.
Yeah, so Rabbi Kiva has a cheshbon like this, right? That if you sleep during the day, you get out of the suffix, because we hold if you go to sleep in the day, it's still the same day, so you don't make a Birchas HaTorah again. But here, if you slept in the day, slept in preparation, especially this week, it's Shabbos is Erev Yom Tov. So if you slept in the day, so now your Birchas HaTorah is in Mordechai stopped because you slept in the day. Plus, it's the next day by the morning. So then, when the Kavega says a cheshbon, for sure you can make Birchas HaTorah. There's argument on that, but if you have that, for sure a person can get up and be Moisei Yolam and Birchas HaTorah. If we slept Shabbos afternoon, then the person goes to sleep right away Shabbos afternoon. So if he sleeps every Shabbos afternoon, so it's not hachana. But if the guy, normally you don't sleep Shabbos afternoon, but this Erev Shavuos you want to go to sleep. So it's
no, but usually you only sleep an hour or two. This time you sleep 4 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's not nicker. If you don't speak out, you're going to sleep. The person speaks out, I'm going to sleep because I want to stay up all night, that's a shayla of hachana. If you don't speak it out, you just go to sleep. So that's not you just go to sleep Shabbos afternoon rest. It's not nicker, you're doing hachana, so that's okay. So that's the shayla. So Birchas HaTorah person can make, and you have another shayla, Maver Scheiner, and Nisal Sechvivino, which is a suffix in the Magen Avraham. The suffix in the place where you can make, and the place where you can make a Maver Scheiner and if you can make yeah. So that also is the same type of thing. Mikra din it goes on the tzibur, and Bada you can make such a bracha. Mikra din you can make such a bracha. It's mavur in the halacha. But we're machmir not to make it unless the person slept. So again, you have the same thing. If you have someone that slept a little bit, for sure you can make it. And even if you don't have someone, you could really put someone up to do it, because it's Mikra Adin we hold that you could make the brachas. Akopanim, yeah, what?
It's a bit of an awkward question, but I always wonder about this. Mamela is somebody who really applies himself. He's learning all year. Okay, say that he's going to be up all night. He wants to learn Shavuos. Somebody who, you learn an hour a day or something. Now Shavuos comes, so you're going to be a big knocker. You're going to be up all night. You're going to learn all night. What do you accomplish? What's the?
Guy learns an hour a day. That's gewaldig.
Okay, you say that's fine, very nice. But I'm saying,
it's not very nice. The guy learns an hour a day. It's unbelievable. Guy learns. He puts in every day. He puts time to learn. He does a mission. He does something, and now he's coming to shul.
So for somebody like that, it
shouldn't be.
Kedai. I mean, it's.
Yeah, it should be focus. It has to be focused. That learning is very important.
It's an opportunity to learn 4 hours.
Yeah, a person has to refocus. Even if he learns whatever amount of times he learns during the day, but that's the Hayom Hazen Yesalam. This is the time we became a nation from Kabbalah Satayim. Our nation is created only based on the Torah. That's when we became a nation, and we have to remember that. So person, whatever amount a person learns during the day, that's the most important part of the day. Everything else revolves around that. So, fakert, no difference.
Okay.
It's not the calmness; it's the echos. The person has to realize that the learning time is the most important time of the day. The person has to create it. It's not how much he learns. Some people have opportunity to learn more. Some people don't have the opportunity to learn more. They learn less. Some people don't have the tools to learn so much. It's irrelevant. The point is that you have to look towards those times of the day. It's the time of the Shavuos is to refocus. Refocus what the importance of Klal Yisrael is. So that's why we stay up. We stay up at night because Bisman Torah they slept. They slept, and the Baruch Shem had to wake them up with Kol Sipach, and this is the shver things that were going there. But Akopanim, we don't have any mitzvahs on Shavuos. We don't have any mitzvahs on Shavuos. There's no matzah, there's no sukkah, there's no mitzvahs on Shavuos. No mitzvahs on Shavuos. Right? Because the ikar is the Matan Torah. Person has to...
You didn't mention cheesecake. What happened to the cheesecake?
Cheesecake?
Minute.
The minute to cheesecake?
Minute cheese.
Cholov. To have a suit of cholov. So the minute to have a suit of cholov, like we mentioned. And one of the reasons to have... what's the reason we have a suit of cholov? Right? So what we said with the malachim, that was one reason, was the cholov, to show the difference. Another reason is dvash v'cholov tachas l'shoincha. Torah is sweet like milk and honey. So is cholov with dvash, right? So it's sweet as milk and honey, and so we show that it's sweet by having milchiks. So other reason, dam mecha v'nasa cholov, right? The midas adin turns to midas arachamim. Dam turns into cholov. Cholov represents when the Torah is given. The lachmei Torah, they have two lacham. That's right. They have two breads. That's the baby. Says Rabbi. There's two breads. We have two breads, and to show there's two breads, we have one fleshik and one milchiks. So there were some places where they actually had in one suda they had milchiks and then they had fleshiks. In one suda, the shaila was, could you have in the same suda milchiks and fleshiks, even though you have the milchiks first. There's some places that ate fleshiks in the morning, and they had mincha in the afternoon suda. They had milchiks in the afternoon suda, even though it wasn't 6 hours. Ma'aseh, we don't do that today. Unless you're Yaakov, right? Don't do that. But we do milchiks first and then fleshiks. But there's different minhagim. Everybody has different minhagim. I just want to give more Ira Shail and the Kudah. Someone called me up before Yom Tov that they want to have a milchiks and then burn out the oven and have fleshiks. You have to be careful not to get into shilos of malacha. You know, or be machmir to burn out the oven, and the sechum of the yosel day cooler. You're going to end up there's electricity, all kinds of shilos you have. You know, even havara, even maybe it's a shal havara shalom. So you have all kinds of shilos on Yom Tov. You ask a shal before you do anything, how to do it, when to do it. But So we should be careful of that. But Akaponim, it's a minute, it's a whole minute to have cholov. What many people do is if they stay up all night, so then in the morning you go home, you have to have a little kiddush, go to sleep without eating something, you make kiddush and you have a mezainis, so you have a cheesecake. Just make sure you have enough to make al michyan, the mezainis part. So you have a cheesecake, and then you eat a suda of cholov, and then later when you get up, you have a suda of flesh. So there's different ways to do it. The bottom line is, I think the ladies decide what the minhag is, because they're the ones that cook. So that's one minhag. There's another minhag, which is the whole shiloh we spoke about in previous years, of putting out flowers or grass. The minhag was put out soften, to put grass, to put trees. The Iker minhag was to put grass in the shuls in the bottom because Matan Torah. Yeah, green. Green. That's how, because the grass grew on Har Sinai, even though it was a desert, and it was a desolate place. I understand with this. It was a desolate place, but there's a Mordechai Musa in this. Mordechai Musa. This Musa I saw in the drasha. It's printed in the drasha the Orch Laner gave in Germany. And we printed it. So the beginning of the drasha, he says it was such a Mordechai thought that you would think, let's say you were setting up for someone special's coming and there's going to be a special speech or drasha, so the ladies will get there and make such a nice bread there. You'll do it in a park with flowers and trees and plants, and then you make it look nice. When Moshe decides to give a Torah, he goes into a desert. It's desolate. There's nothing there. There's rocks and there's maybe a few animals walking around. There's nothing. It's mamish. It's a midbar shmama. That's what it's called. A midbar shmama. There's mamish nothing there. And what happens? He gives a Torah. Shas Matan Torah. The Farshim will explain that there's every word that come out. It's a place filled up with smell of besamim. Mamish, it was like a Gan Eden smell. And then the grass grew and there were flowers and the whole place turned over. So it shows you the other way around. It's not pshat that we have to dress. People think they have to dress up the Torah. You have to dress it up. To dress up the Torah, we'll do this. Through the Sinas HaTorah, that's where all the Chaim came, all the Chiyas came, all the beauty came. Nishmas Hoid Kelecha, everything that came out there, the koilos, there were sounds. The person mamash felt like he was standing in Gan Eden. It all came through the Matan Torah, not the other way around. We have to dress them. Today we put the flowers out. We put out to remind ourselves of then that B'Shas Matan Torah, when it was given, that caused the Rosh didn't need us to set it up. It caused you have to pick a nice place in the world, make a chasna in some garden out there. How they do it. The thing itself has the beauty. Torah itself has the beauty to make things alive and beautiful. So that's a beautiful thought. Akaponim, that was a minhag to put out. The others held not to put out because since we live in the places of the Christians, and they would put these things in their places. So it was chukas ha'akam. So we discussed this the other week of chukas ha'akam. It's a machlokes. So the Maisa. Many places have the minhag to do it. It's a minhag havmoinim to do it. The Rama brings down. And they're not worried about chukas ha'akam because there's a reason for it. So they're not worried about chukas ha'akam.
They're always
the Chagoyim held not to do it, and that's why most yeshivas don't do it because they're based basically on the goyim, so they don't do anything out in the shuls. But other places do it. It's based on Rama. Now, partially different minhagim, minhag Yisrael Torah. Every minhag has a source, and that's rayos, and that's the way it is. Akaponim v'shtak to get out of Shavuot, realign ourselves with the Hashem gave us the Torah. We should appreciate it and come to a deeper appreciation of who we really are.
Amen.